Guys, this is Sports with Dylan. I'm back with picks 11 to 20 in the 2022 NFL Draft. Again, I'm going to go analyze all of these, and they get a lot more in depth once all the trades start happening, which happens right away. Top 10 was kind of boring, but once you get out of that, just a barrage of trades. Seriously though, there are so many trades. I was blown away by how many trades there are. So, number 11 overall, the Washington Commanders traded their pick to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints selected Chris Olave with that pick. Now, this doesn't surprise me trading up a bit. Most people suspected them to trade up, but not for the reason I'm going to tell you today. Well, once Garrett Wilson and Drake London were drafted, the Saints knew they had to get one of their top targets. And if they let it any further, for all they knew, then Olave and Williams could both be gone. So, it makes a lot of sense for them to have traded up to grab one of those two receivers, which they did in Chris Olave. At number 12 overall, the Minnesota Vikings traded down with the Detroit Lions, who then proceeded to select Jameson Williams. Now, this one was a bit more surprising. Now, it makes sense, like I said about the Saints. Once Olave, Wilson, and London are all gone, you've got to get one of the big four, is what they were probably thinking. What I was wondering is, why'd they view receiver as such a huge need to trade up? I think they could have almost traded down if they're all gone. Or trade up less, like trade for Jahan Dawson. Or stayed where they were and grabbed John Mechie, George Pickens. So, I'm a bit surprised they didn't do one of those things. But Jameson Williams will be an interesting weapon in the Detroit Lions offense. At number 13 overall, the Houston Texans traded down with the Philadelphia Eagles, seeing a trend yet, who then grabbed Jordan Davis. Now this one shocked me based on who is still on the board, namely Kyle Hamilton. When Kyle Hamilton's still on the board and you trade up for Jordan Davis? I don't know what the heck they were thinking, but Jordan Davis will be an interesting piece to the Eagles defense. I think that was a bit high for him. And Jermaine Johnson was there as well. Could have grabbed him at 15. So I'm a bit surprised they didn't do that. Karlaftis, another good example who they could have grabbed. Probably at 15. At number 14 overall, the Baltimore Ravens did not trade down. They instead drafted safety Kyle Hamilton. Now this was a bit of a surprise to me, because they already had Marcus Williams and Chuck Clark at the safety position. But Kyle Hamilton should have been a top 10 pick. The fact that he's still around at number 14 was very surprising. So the Ravens just went all in and went on Kyle Hamilton. At number 15 overall, it was the Houston Texans picking because of their trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Houston Texans selected Kenyon Green, which was a surprise to me, given that he was not viewed as a top 15 prospect. And Tyler Linderbaum, Zion Johnson, and Trevor Penning, who I all considered better than him, were still on the board. So I was very surprised when the Texans went and drafted him. Especially, as I said in my last video, when they could have drafted someone like Evan Neal or Ike Mekwonu at number 3 overall. In which case, here they could have probably drafted Stingley. Or more likely, at 13 they could have drafted Stingley and they wouldn't have traded down. I don't see why they went for Kenyon Green. At number 16 overall, it was the Washington Commanders picking because of their trade with the New Orleans Saints. They selected Jahan Dawson. Now, I'm a bit surprised that they traded down to draft a receiver when Jameson Williams and Chris Olave still could have been traded for. But they did get a good return on that trade, and it would have been a massive stretch to draft Dotson at 11. So I think this was not bad for the Commanders. If they wanted Dotson, they got him. And now Terry McLaurin has a true running mate. At number 17 overall, the Los Angeles Chargers drafted Zion Johnson. Now, this was a bit of a surprise to me. I thought Trevor Penning, but not a massive surprise given that both of them are offensive linemen, and right tackle and right guard were their two biggest needs, and they went for right guard over right tackle. I suspected them to go right tackle, but they went right guard. Not much of a surprise. At number 16 overall, the Philadelphia Eagles traded their pick so that they could get A.J. Brown. Not a surprise. I love that deal. A.J. Brown's better than any rookie so far. You don't know what a rookie's going to do, but you do know A.J. Brown is a top 10 receiver when healthy. So, the Titans, who acquired that pick, used it on Treylon Burks. This is a very interesting pick, given that most people compared Treylon Burks to A.J. Brown. So it seems like they wanted A.J. Brown 2.0. So that surprises me even more. Why were they willing to give up A.J. Brown if they just wanted to get him again? And they could have afforded the contract. I would pick him over what they're paying Harold Landry right now. So I don't quite get it. Number 19 overall, the New Orleans Saints selected Trevor Penning. I like this pick. He could easily be the next Tron Armstead, except he doesn't get injured as often. They now have someone back on right tackle, so this is a great pick all around. Number 20 overall, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett. He was the first quarterback and only drafted in the first round. It's the first time since 2013 that we've had to wait this long to mid-round for a quarterback to be drafted, and that there's only one draft the whole round after that. So, it's pretty surprising, but it's not shocking given that it was expected that the quarterbacks weren't so good in this draft this year. Obviously, analysts are going to mock quarterbacks higher because it's seen as the most important position. Anyways, Pittsburgh Steelers had Mitch Trubisky, who I thought was going to be a great option for a year to see what he can do. But Kenny Pickett shares a practice field. Pittsburgh Panthers share a practice field with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which means they see him all the time, which means they see what he can truly do off tape. So this makes a lot of sense. Well, guys, that was video number 2, and stay tuned for part 3. Thanks for watching.